Welcome to part 2 of our look at new mods for the 18th of October on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. CLEP. Thanks for joining me. If you are here for part 2, if you haven't seen part 1 of this mod review, there should be a link that will come up in the corner now. I had to split it into 2 parts. If you watched the first part, you already know that. There were 33 mods, but with mod packs, it took it way over 50 mods. I couldn't squeeze it all in to an hour. So I thought, you know what, easiest thing to do, let's split it into 2 separate parts. The first one did 15 of the mods, including the packs. Now we're on to the vehicles and machinery. That was all buildings, this is all machinery and equipment. So, if you are joining me for part 2, thank you very much. This is the John Deere 608C 708C by STX Farms, 3.48 megabytes download, 6 slots on console, 6 meters wide. Now, I'm assuming in the real world there is a difference between the two. I can't work out what that is. If we go to our corn headers, out to the end, 53 grand, 6 meters wide. Slot count comes down from 6 to 1. That's our 608C. That's our 708C. All I can see changing is just the decal on the side. I've been round and round it while I've been clicking between the two, and I cannot see any other change other than that potentially one of them, the snoots come down one at a time, and the other one they come down all together. That's the only thing I can think that could be different between the two. Anyway, that's it. Let's hop in, start this up, unfold it with the 708C, should I say. They all come down together, just like that. I've got them on sunflower. Generally speaking, you kind of go for corn with a corn header, but you can do corn or sunflower with them. There we go. Animation, very nice. Auger taking it all to the centre, doing what it should be doing. Possibly levelling? I'm trying to think what else it could be. Oh, what have we got here? Side bits up and down to stop crop coming over the sides and go into the auger. You know what I'm going to do, just in case? Turn it off. Let's go back to our corn headers. So on that one, that's the 608, 708. No, they're both there. That's the header anyway. The John Deere 608C 708C by STX Farms. Next. This one, representative of a pack. This is the CNH3162 TerraFlex Draper by Custom Modding. 49.87 megabytes download. These run from 11 slots through to 16 slots. As you can see, we've got the Kroeger wind system on this one. As far as I'm still aware, that has no real effect in game. It's just on there for the look. But under regular headers, just there, we start there with the 30 foot. So you've got in each of these, in each of the widths or lengths, depending on look at, I would say widths, but you've got the standard version, and then you've got the with transport kit, so with the wheels and the drawbar. So we've got the 30 foot, 11 slot, and with transport kit, 13 slots. So that's your 30 foot, 9.1 meter. We've then got 35 foot, 10.6 meter. That's 12 slots or 13 slots if you go for the one with the transport kit. Then we've got the 40 foot, 12.1 meters, 14 slot, 15 slot if you go for the transport kit. Then we go up to the 45 foot, which is 13.7, 15 slots. That says 1 because I've already got one. That was 16 slots for the one with transport kit. Then if we move on, we have got the case versions. Again, we go through all the same options. I think it's just New Holland and case, isn't it? Yeah. The headers themselves, if you look at one of the New Holland versions, we've got the Kroeger wind system, yes or no. That's the same on all of them. We go to the case options, same thing, Kroeger wind system, yes or no. In all the various different sizes. So I went for a New Holland 13.7 metre with wind system and transport system as well. So what we'll do is disconnect. Once on, fold that all up, and we should be able to adjust our head up, down, in, out. I don't think we can adjust, let me just double check though. I'll say we can't adjust the wind system within that, that's attached and in place, but we can adjust the distance from the cutter bar and the head. So, hear the wind system start up. Draper belt doing its thing. There we go. Nice animations with the cutter bars as well. Look at that. All those little details. Very cool. That's the CNH 3162 TerraFlex Draper by Custom Modding. Next. I've got two mowers, one directly after the other. First of all, we've got the Lizard Z036 Meduza. This is by Hajstel and EE, 9.26 megabytes download, 7 slots on console, 1.7 meters wide. And then we've got the Lizard M166, 3.74 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. Now this says 160 meters. I think it means 1.6. We'll check, because it could be 160 meters. That'd be quite surprising. This is by Smety CMT. So we'll look at the Meduza first from Hajstel and EE. We'll see both of them in here anyway. They're both under mowers. So right on the very end we've got the Meduza 1600, slot count comes down to 1, as I said 1.7 meters wide. I went for no cover. I thought it looked really cool with no cover. I mean, very dangerous, but anyway. So you've got no cover, drum cover and apron, no cover. Then you've got belt with cover or without cover. Then you've got centre cover, just protects stuff from flying backwards towards the tractor, I think I went for that. Then you've got new type of hitch, old type of hitch. Main colour, any one of those. An apron colour, if you've gone for it. Let's do that. And go to that and that. Changes the apron colour. And if we look at the M166, 2500, slot count comes out, actually horsepower, that's 32 required, on this one's 40. Slot count comes down to 100, but it does say there width, 160 metres. I'm sure that's supposed to be 1.6. But like I say, you never know. Stranger things have happened. On this one we've got curtain, mower cover, no. But if we go for that, we've got belt cover, yes or no. Main colour, anything on that palette, does all that. Then design colour does the apron, like that. So starting off with the Meduza, I'm interested to see. Let's unfold it. Nice animations, nice sound effects. Let's turn it on. Always that, like that little bit of wobble in the PTO always looks really cool. And away we go. 1.7 metres of cutting goodness with the Z036 Meduza by Hajstel and EE. I love the fact of disconnecting the PTO. Brilliant. So next up then, the Lizard M166 by Smety CMT. If this cuts 160 metres, this is going to be the best mower ever created. So unfold. I know it can happen, I know it's sort of coincidental, but I always find it fascinating when you get mod days where you get 2 or 3 almost identical mods drop by different modders. It's weird, isn't it, how that happens? They get submitted and just get done at the same time. So, turn it on. Just 1.6. Oh, I was hoping it was going to cut like miles out into the distance either way or something. 160 metre mower. Anyway, doing its job. Bit of flex in there, bit of movement so it doesn't break at any point. Nice bit of spring loading there. That's the Lizard M166 by Smety CMT. Lovely job. Next, we've got this, the Peringer Twist 7001 by WOLFex Modding. This is 5.44 megabytes download, 5 slots on console with an 8 metre spread width. We've got a couple of capacities. I think I've got it on the 10,000 litre. There's no back door on this one, but this you'll find under manure spreaders. Just there, 17,000. 20 horsepower required, that's all, which is quite impressive really. 7,000 litre or 10,000 litre are your 2 options. We've got the option of wheel brand. We've got Lizard, Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, back to Lizard, under Lizard, standard and wide. Trelleborg, standard and wide. Michelin, just that. Continental, standard and wide, and then back to Lizard again. Rim colour, any one of those. And a license plate option on there too. So, what we should be able to do, swing this round. Now this you can have double application as well if you want to. Get both fertilising states down in standard game mode. Obviously precision farming is different, so we can activate it or not. Let's turn it on first. Let's drive forward, turn it on. Should spread out to 8 metres. Just like that. And we're going at 7 miles an hour. And what should happen if we put double application on, that should go down to about 3, maybe 4. Activate double application. Away we go again. There you go, 4 miles an hour, but we are getting double the application done. So both fertilising states at the same time. Nice animations, nice sound effects, nice bit of steam coming off the manure. That's the Peringer Twist 7001. By WOLFex Modding. Next, we have these, not the tractor. This is the Lizard 18T by Valek. Now, I'm going to say this. Udruzenje nezavisnih, is it? Modera? Apologies if I said that wrong. Nezavisnih. I think that's right. Apologies. 3.25 megabytes download and 4 slots on console. You can either have trailer configuration like so, or you can have a bale configuration like that, which has tension straps. I've gone for one of each. You will find it under trailers, just there, 14 grand. Slot count will come down from 4 to 1. As I said, standard configuration, 18,000 litres or bale trailer. This doesn't have a rear trailer hitch, so you can't daisy chain these together. Wheel setup, we've got standard or twin wheels. Those are the 2 options. Main colour, anything on that palette. I have to say I found these, I mean they do look dark on here anyway. They are much darker, but then you might not like particularly bright colours, so it gives you some options. Then rim colour, anything on that palette at all, and then license split option on there too. This only tips left or right, so I'll do one, and obviously the opposite is just the opposite. We're on tip side left, unload here. As you can see, it's not actually tipping itself, just opens the door and it pours out. So if you're doing unloading in barns and buildings and your roof space is limited, it's quite, I say it's quite wide, it's a fairly wide trailer. Quite a big trailer as well for 18,000 litre capacity. But it does the job, and like I say, then you've got tip side right, which is just the opposite, just opens up the other side. Lovely job. The listed 18T by Valek, Udruzenje, nezavisnih modera. Next, we've got this. This is the Bergmann GTW 430 MY21 by Patrick. 16.32 megabytes download, 10 slots on console, 43,000 litre capacity. I think the big difference between this is slightly larger capacity than some of the standard ones in game. We've had versions of this before, and obviously that looks a slightly different green to the standard Bergmann, and there's an orange on there as well. That's because you got the option to change some colours. So just out there, 87 grand for the base model. Slot count will come down from 10 to 1. 300 horsepower required. We've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, Mitas, PKT, Vredestein, back again on Trelleborg, standard and wide. Michelin, standard and wide. Mitas, just that. PKT, just that. Vredestein, that, and back again. Main colour, anything on that palette at all. Like so. Design colour, anything on that palette. Rim colour option. Starts with a grey, which is sort of silvery grey, but again, anything you want on that palette. License plate option on there too. Start this up. I've got a little bit of crop in there, not a huge amount. Cover open and closed. I do like the fact when it wraps it down the side, it looks like it's a sort of canvassy, rippled effect on that as well, which is quite nice. Pipe out. As you can see, lighting on there is very nice indeed. Indicators as well. I mean, that's kind of, I suppose, kind of a given. L1, right stick up and down. Sorry, right stick side to side. Does the nozzle, so we can adjust that. R1, right stick side to side. So we've got a nice bit of adjustment there. For whatever we are tipping into, onto, over. Just like that. Unload here. Into a sell point, onto a trailer, into a seeder, whatever it might be. As an auger wagon takes the standard crop types, seed and solid fertiliser. Very nicely made, very nicely detailed, with a nice few options on there. Again, it's things that I always used to check, and I've said this a few times. When I used to do my mod reviews, I would always go right up to the decals and check the decals. And sometimes the closer you get, the blurrier they would get. But the quality on that is just... The VIN plate on there as well. Look at that. I mean, it just doesn't blur. It's brilliant. So there you go. That's the Bergmann GTW 430 MY21 by Patrick. What we got next? Oh, yes. We've got these. Now, I don't have snow, as you can see. This is the BM Volvo Snow Gear by North Modding Company. We've got the bucket, which is 3 slots, 2,500 litres. We've got the snow plough, which is 3 metres wide, and then we've got the dozer plough, which is 3 metres wide. And I didn't write down what the slot counts were on those. I think they were about the same. I'm sure they were 3s. How very remiss of me, but I'm sure I can actually find out. If we go to leased items and we go to our winter equipment, it should say there that one is 2 slots, that one's 2 slots, that one was 3 slots. There we go. Easily done. So you will find them. Winter equipment out to the end there. So we've got the snow bucket. As I said, it's only 900 to buy. Slot count comes down to 1. Options on that, we can have wheel loader, front loader, telehandler, back to wheel loader, main colour. We've got Volvo yellow or Volvo black. That's the same on each of them, and each of them has the same option for wheel loader, front loader, telehandler, and the same for colour option. And then the
dozer plough, wheel loader, front loader, telehandler, and the same for the colour option. These are designed to go with the BM Volvos that we got with the Platinum expansion, but of course, because it's got the option for wheel loader, telehandler, and front loader, you can mix and match them. You don't have to have them on the Volvos, but that's kind of what they're designed specifically for. A bucket is a bucket. I won't necessarily show you that because you pick out, that hasn't got a high tip function or anything like that. It's a 2,500 litre bucket. The centre plough is just a raise and lower. It doesn't have any options once you've attached it, but it does look pretty cool. So you can get your angle of your dangle just right when you're ploughing your snow. Lovely. And this one we can switch sides. So you've got a left or a right option. So at the moment we've got it like that. Again, we've got our adjustment there. But we don't have adjustment on. So our adjustment to get the angle just right literally comes down to how we get that angle there, and then we raise and lower it to get our angle just right for the ground. There we go, like that. And then we can unfold snowplow, which takes it from that side to that side. And away you go. Very nice indeed. That's the BM Volvo Snow Gear by North Modding Company. Next, we've got this. This is the Kroger Sega Uno by STv-Modding. It's 2.76 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. It's a dolly. There aren't many options on this one. It's fairly standard actually. Quite helpful. We go to our dollies. Just in the middle there, the Siga Uno, 12,000 to buy. Slot count will come down from 3 to 1. Options on this, we have got Trelleborg, we've got Michelin, BKT, Vredestein, back to Trelleborg. No options within those. Main colour, we can have black or special. Rim colour, grey, silver or special. And license plate option on there as well. And it hooks up like a dolly, which we're going to see in just a moment. That's the Kroger Sega Uno by STv-Modding. Next then, we're going to have a look at this, because it kind of fits in with that. We've got this. This is the Lizard 53-foot Tridem log trailer by Hallbilt MFG HAM. 4.4 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. You'll find it under forestry equipment. Just there, 80 grand. Slot count comes down to 1. We can have the option of main colour, anything on that palette there. Rim colour, anything on that palette. Those are your options. It has tension straps, as you can see, which can be done manually. He says. Like that. Orphan cab. There's no options for tip function or anything like that. But we can get to use the dolly as well. There we go. So tension straps on or off. See the bar at the front there when we disconnect to stand it up on, the landing gear. Lights, indicators. I like the fact the indicators run down the side of it as well. So we do that, you'll see them running down the side. Plus it's got chicken lights on the side. I don't know if you can just see. Turn those all off now and turn them back on. So we've got chicken lights running down the side as well. Turn the indicators off. Lights off. It's quite wide actually, and the supports are quite high, making it, I would say, fairly stable. It's got quite a wide wheelbase as well on there. There you go. The Lizard 53-foot Tridem log trailer by Hallbilt MFG HAM, along with the Kroger Sega Uno. Next. Oh yeah, next we've got this. This made me laugh, and this is why I'm probably going to get the thumbnail is going to be disallowed if I go for what I think I'm going to go for. I've got this. Lovely. Now this says for household chores. Whew, I'm not sure what household chores you'd be using this for. I mean, household, I suppose, yeah, tell if you go in the garden. My dad always had one of these in his garden shed with an orange handle, and it was always told us don't go near it. I've got an Agua, what's my one? I've got a folding one of these now, but anyway, so it's a handsaw. This is by Valek, 0.20 megabytes download. It doesn't say it's got there's no megabyte download for this. You'll find it under chainsaws. Just there, 200 to buy. There's no options for colour or anything. You get it in green. That was weird, I wasn't doing anything. But as far as cutting, bucking up wood, that was pretty quick. Like so. We go for something a little bit larger. Or have we lost that? Oh, there we go. Blimey, that is quick. I think when I first got it, I was doing stuff... Wowzers. That's pretty fast, I like that. Got a branch there, let's do this one. Crikey. That's pretty handy. So if you are disposing of a body, no, I'm joking. This might be the tool for you. Bit quieter than a chainsaw. Certainly not as messy as a lightsaber, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is just as messy. Anyway, sorry Valek. This is the handsaw from Valek. Which brings me on to the next mod, which we're going to need to... Well, we don't need to use, but we can do. We've got the Vermeer BC1000XL by FS Minor ALSN Elson 82, 4.69 megabytes download, and 5 slots on console. It's a little wood chipper, and it's designed for this kind of thing. Small limbs, small trees, that kind of thing. It's got a fairly large chute on there, so you can get some bigger stuff in there as well. Now, the only downside to this is the pipe doesn't sit very high. So as far as putting it into trailers, you need a trailer that's fairly low. Otherwise, it's kind of... it might blow through the side of trailers. But I did grab this. This is from the liftable bales and pallets pack. This goes up to a capacity of 50,000 litres unreal if you want to. So I grabbed one of those. I also grabbed the reform trailer, because if I bring it out with that, we can turn the pipe around. It'll blow into the back of this. But I'm sure this only got like a 2,500 litre capacity. But this is the mod itself. Let's turn that off. I'm looking a bit bright like that. So this you'll find under forestry equipment. Right on the end, 38,000. 87 horsepower required. Only thing we can change is the rim colour. Like that. But it is rather cool. Now you can enter the vehicle. Start the engine. Unfold the wood chipper. Pipe out. Which I'm assuming will go to the trailer first. We'll see how that goes. I might just swap over something else. Or is it going to go straight to that? Okay. That's interesting. Right, what I'm going to do, let's move that out of the way for the moment. Should go to that now. There we go. And turn it on. Now that isn't attached to this, as you can see. So that's running independently, all on its lonesome, very happily doing its thing. So what we'll do is back that a little bit closer. We can hook up if we want to. Let's grab something and throw it in. These aren't going to be very large literage, as you can imagine. Let's put the wood chip in there. So it's designed for more this kind of thing, really. If I, Not that we're going to get any wood chips from this. That's the only trouble with the smaller branches. This is designed for smaller branches, but then you don't often get anything off the smaller branches, so it depends really how we go about it. It's not going to take that. No, it doesn't really want to, does it? So it's going to be a case of having to... Okay, so it's going to require larger stuff. I thought it'd be perfect for this kind of thing. Nope, doesn't like that at all. Deary me, okay. I was hoping it was going to require a lot less finagling. Because when I tested it, I only used it just like a single log. There we go. That's what we'll do. Put this back, just to show you. Because that thing, that's brilliant. If you're doing stuff like this, absolutely brilliant. No. I've got some in there. Let's try it. Will it go for something a little bit bigger? I don't know if it will. It's going to be too big, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Well, you'll find the perfect size. I mean, it has got its place for storytelling and that kind of stuff, and you can still make wood chips with smaller logs. But I like it. I think it's a brilliant bit of kit. I like the options for it. I like the fact you can get into the vehicle and you can run it without it being attached or anything. That's pretty cool. Pipe in. Fold chipper. Stop engine. Stop that engine. We're done. That took a lot longer than I was hoping to. Anyway, that's the Vermeer BC1000XL by FS Minor Elston 82. Next, we've got this. This is also representative. This is the Gorenc Terasofter pack by WOLFex Modding. 46.99 megabytes download. 6 slots, 8 slots, 9 slots, 9 slots, 11 slots, 12 slots. You'll see what I mean in a moment. This is a cultivating pack which has the option for cover crop seeding. This one has got a full seeder bar across the back of it. The larger ones do. We've got a difference between a standard frame one, which has got, which I assume, shear bolts, or this one, which is spring loaded. Again, you'll see it in the options with larger duck feet, so slightly more heavy duty, more robust. Really nicely made, really nicely detailed, with all the bolt heads and everything on there. Nice bit of kit. This you'll find under cultivators. So as I said, we start here with the Terasofter 2.5 2L. You've got the 2.5S 2L. So the difference between that is, if you look at the sides of this, we've got straight support bars with duck feet on there, which I'm assuming, like I say, I've got shear bolts. They don't have, and it looks like they've got spare bolts down the side there, yeah, I would say. But we've got shear bolts, no springs. That's the standard version. But on all of them, we've got the option for standard or APV, so we can put on our cover crop seeder. That's a 300 litre tank, and you can do grass, oilseed, radish and canola as your cover crop. Main colour on all of them, light blue or black. If we go to the next one, the Terasofter 2.5S 2L, as you can see, that one's got the springs on it. It's got curved sort of tines with the duck feet on, a little bit more heavy duty, but again, we've got the option for the APV unit on there as well, and main colour we can change as well. Then we move up to the 3. So we've gone from 2.5 metre to a 3 metre. Same thing, straight, but we've got the APV. This one's got a seeder option on it as well. So it goes from a 300 litre tank to a 1,500 litre tank. So if you're putting down, if you want to do a grass field, you can cultivate first while you're doing it rather than just having a seeder. So, you know, a direct drill technically. Again with the main colour, and then that one. Oh, that's interesting. And then we go up again to that one there. That's interesting. So we've got the 3L, the 3S 2L and the 3S 3L. On this one, between the 2L and the 3L, it's the amount of tines. If you look down there, we've got, what's that got? 7 tine. That one we've got, is it 10? 4, 3, 7, 10. Yeah, so we've got between a 7 and 10 tine. That's the difference between the 2L and the 3L. Same with that one. 7 and 10 in different configurations of rows. Again, with the option for the APV seeder unit. So I went for the 3 metre with the 10 tine seeder unit. Now you can run this just as the cultivator. If I just drop this down, we run that through a crop that's just been harvested. So it's not a shallow cultivator, that will bring up stones. We go across a bit that has been mulched as well, do the same thing. Then we go a bit that will bring up stones. So that's, I haven't turned anything on. At the moment that is just cultivating. So in its cultivating form, you might just want to use it as a cultivator, you might not want to put a cover crop down. But you have got the option to switch it and change it if you want to. Drop it down to this. Now this should bring up stones. There you go. But if I want to cultivate and seed at the same time, I've got it on grass at the moment. We can go from grass to oilseed radish to canola. Let's put it on oilseed radish, doesn't really matter. So we turn it on and drop it down. So we are cultivating and seeding at the same time with our cover crop. Nicely made, nicely detailed. True to real life. Is it Slovenian? I'm sure the company's Slovenian, isn't it? Gorenc? Did I read that somewhere? Yeah, Slovenian. Family run, family owned. That's the Gorenc Terasofter pack by WOLFex Modding. Next, we've got this, the Cargo XK24 by Univers STv-Modding Nico Do 55, 15.92 megabytes download and 7 slots on console. Fairly straightforward this one. You'll find it under trailers. Just there. Slot count will come down to 1. We've got the option of Trelleborg. Michelin has that, and back again. BKT, we have a few more options on the BKT. Vredestein, just those two. Knock-in, just that. Back to Trelleborg with just that. We've got capacity of 33,850, 40,200, 48,670. In that configuration, the biggest one, it still takes everything. It's not just a silage trailer or anything like that. Those are the options. No colour choice, anything like that. But what we do have on there, so I've got a little bit of olives in here. We swing that around. So we have got the option for unloading of tip side back, which lifts the whole thing up like that to unload. We've got tip side grain door, which again, grain sort, but it goes all the way up. Or we've got tip side parking. Tip side back, tip side grain door, tip side parking, because it had something in it. The tip side parking option went. That's interesting. Because I was going to say, if you're unloading under a low ceiling, if you put it on tip side parking and do that, it opens it up, but it only goes that high. Now that could be, I know sometimes you have that option for draining out trailers. If they've been parked up for a long time, they've got water and stuff in them, you can just do that. It just opens it up enough and lifts it up high enough that all the water and liquid and stuff drains out. But it was interesting that I couldn't get that option when there was a crop in it. So I was going to say, oh, that's really cool. If you're unloading under a high roof or something like that. There you go. That's the Cargo XK24 by Univers STv-Modding Nico Do 55. Next, we've got this. This is the Fit 480 by Pepe978, 15.81 megabytes download and 8 slots on console. You'll find this under small tractors. Just there, 6,900. That's all. Slot count comes down to 1. 50 horsepower. We've got the option of front weight, 200 kilo, 320. Off again. Long exhaust, short exhaust. Wheel setup standard. Wheel weights 2. You've got configuration for the license plate. You've got map, so whatever the map version is, or you've got the old 70s license plate. Main colour, any one of those three. So slightly darker or a terracotta. Rim colour, any one of those, including the grey or a black. Sort of very dark, shiny sort of black. And license plate option on there too. Hop on. Lights. Horn. Nice little tractor. I like that. Lights up the bevels around the outside of the dials when you turn the lights on. My dad used to refer to as a bopper bipper. I don't know, any engine that had a kind of that kind of yeah. I don't know. He used to make words up all the time. Weird and wonderful things that we grew up with. Anyway. Lovely. That's the Fiat 480 by Pepe 978. Also by Pepe 978, we've got this. The New Holland 180/55. This is 18.57 megabytes download, 8 slots on console, as I've already said, by Pepe 978. We've got a couple of options on this with regard to rear link. So we've got a drawbar option on its own, rear link option. You can have standard tracks or you can have road sort of rubberized so you don't cause any extra damage. I did buy one of each because I wondered whether it would be more clanky sounding with just that, but they sound exactly the same regardless of which track option you go for. Nicely made and nicely detailed, as we often find with Pepe 978 mods. Under medium tractors, out on the end, 51,000. Slot count comes down to 1. So I said configuration, we've got standard, 500 kilo front weight, 800 kilo. Then you've got a rear linkage option, so as it stands at the moment, that's just got the drawbar. Swinging drawbar. You can have a rear linkage, and then you can go with the rear linkage with the front weights, and then back to standard again. We'll set up standard or road tracks like that. I say rubberized, they're probably a little bit more substantial than that these days. Like I say, it doesn't matter which one we hop into. There's no horn, don't think. Lights. There's no doors or windows. What was it? It's a drawbar. L1 and right stick side to side. We can swing the drawbar. Swing around into the light. Like that. Up to a whopping 8 miles an hour. There you go. That's the New Holland 180/55 by Pepe 978. Joystick control rather than levers, that's pretty cool. Next, we've got this, the JCB 714, this is by Kenny456, 15.27 megabytes download, 14 slots on console. That's a whole lot of numbers, isn't it? This is nice. We've got a standard version at 9,000 litres, then 2 Unreal options, a 20,000 litre and a 30,000 litre if you want to. Adds a little bit extra into the JCB range, little dump truck. This you'll find under miscellaneous vehicles. Just there, 80,000 for the base model. Slot count will come down to 1, takes pretty much everything. So real option, 9,000 litres, 20,000 litres adds 100 on, 30,000 litres adds 200 on. It's very cool. We've got Trelleborg with that option, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Freudenstein, back to Trelleborg. So no options within those, just those options. Beacons are on by default, so you can have them on or off. Trailer hitch is on by default, but you can take that off if you don't want trailer hitch. Main colour, anything on that palette, so you can really go to town on your JCB, and then rim colour, again, anything on that palette, including chrome if you want to go for chrome, bling it up a little bit with license plate option on there too. That went very high pitched. Beacons, horn. This is cool, I like this, especially with the trailer option on there as well. There's no doors or windows on this one. Interior. Mirrors, not a bad size. You can see everything that's going on from that position. You can see both sides as well, which is nice. You haven't got to turn your head at all. And then unload here, depending on what configuration you've gone for, of course. I think for quarry work with stones and things like that, that's quite handy actually, having 30,000 litre capacity. That's a lot of wood chips. There you go, the JCB 714 by Kenny456. Which brings me on to the last of the mods, which is another pack from the mods. From the 18th of October, part 2, and it's this. The Rostelmash 1403 pack by Lucas, 21.14 megabytes download. The 1403 Forage Harvester is 8 slots. The 600R all-crop header, 3 slots, 6 meters wide. No options on that. It will come down to 1 slot. And then we've got the PF307 grass pickup header, 3.1 meters wide, 4 slots. Again, no options on that. Slot count will come down to 1 once you've purchased those. The RSM 1403s have always been a cheaper alternative. I know we've got a few class forage harvesters now as well, which is nice to have. But as far as sort of forage harvesters go, when you're looking at prices upwards of 380 grand up to like 449, 452, 515, at 221 grand, not a bad price. So in this one we've got Trelleborg, we've got BKT, Vredestein, Mitas. Back again, no options within that, and license plate option on there too. And if we come out of there and we go to our tools and we go to Forage Harvester headers, that's where you'll find them. But like I said, out on the end, 18 grand for the 307 grass pickup header, and then 70 grand for the 600R kind of all crop header. No options within those. Slot counts come down to 1, as you can see. So if we start this up, pipe out, horn, lighting is very good. Hook up to the trailer, we'll hook up to the pickup header. Now we'll see, this has always been one of my bugbears, and I'm sure I'll get comments. We can fold or unfold the pickup. That's packed away, that's unfolded. Turn the lights off, don't need those on. Now, the way my mind works, and this is how it works in real life, not my mind, but a forage harvester cross-cuts. So if you've cut grass and you've windrowed it, you might have even tedded it out to dry it or whatever. Grass can be cut and it can be very long. The whole point about picking up with a forage harvester is within the forage harvester, when it goes up into the chute, it cross cuts everything. So you get much smaller pieces. So rather than have long strands of grass, especially if you put it into a silage clamp, it cross cuts it, and that's how you get your chaff. So the chaff then goes into the silage clamp and it goes compacted, bish, bash, bosh. Now what I've always found with grass in game is when you cut the grass and it goes through there and comes out the back, it comes out the back as grass. It should come out the back as chaff. I know the silage clamps will take grass and they will take chaff, it doesn't matter, but technically coming out of a forage harvester it should be chaff because it has cross-cut it, it's not still grass. Because if I now swap headers, I can't carry on with another crop because that's showing grass in the back of here and not chaff. I know it's a minor thing, but it's one of those things. But as you can see, it picks up your swath, no problem at all. It will only do grass. Let's unload that. Then we'll swap headers over. Now, generally speaking, I will use these headers and do corn because silaging corn is normally the most productive out of all of them. But because it's an all-crop header, you can do other crops as well. Like I say, it's just generally speaking, if you're going to do a silage harvest on a crop, you tend to go for corn because there's more of it. So when it's cross-cut it and chaffed it all, because it's a much bigger plant anyway. So what should happen now, we unfold this, nice smooth animation. We should get chaff, he says, and I should be able to go between crops, but again, we will see. So turn this on. So you see now we're getting chaff out the back. because it's cutting that entire plant down. It's completely cross-cutting it and shredding it up into small bits, and it comes out the back as chaff. So that's our corn. We should be able to go straight onto another crop. There you go. Well, to be fair, the sunflower seems to be yielding quite high. There you go. That's the Rosselmash 1403 pack by Lucas, and that's it for the second part. That's all the mods now done for the 18th. By the time I get this done and up, the next lot of mods are probably going to be out for the 19th. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.